you might have heard of this guy. He was this little tiny band, Australian band from the 80s.
Boy band.
Boy band, yeah, the 80s. So now you've been married for 6 years.
Yes.
And 16 years. Together.
Yes.
With Mr. Kirk Pengilly.
Mm-hmm. Anyone heard of In Excess?
Anyone heard of In Excess?
You better have.
How did you guys... I can't remember the last time I've ever seen Kirk without his moustache.
Kirk's going to kill me that this photo's up on the screen.
This is Kirk Pengilly with John Stevens.
Yes.
Who was the reason you guys were set up on a blind date?
Yeah, I don't know what John saw in the two of us coming together. I mean, we're night and day. I mean, Kirk's nocturnal, I'm dayturnal. He loves white wine, I like red wine. He likes coming home when I'm getting up and going for a surf. You know, there's just two opposing worlds colliding. But John, for some reason, in his infinite wisdom, thought that we both would have a mutual amount of admiration and respect and trust for what it takes to become the best in the world at something. And so when Kirk and I met, it certainly wasn't love at first sight. I mean, John invited me to this private In Excess show, and when Kirk walked out on stage, I was looking at John, looking at Kirk, going, "Kirk, John, you're so hot. Kirk, you're so not. Can I go home with John?" Because I mean, Kirk was like, he was overweight, pasty white, balding Hawaiian shirt, wearing rock star, and I'm like, "What is this? Seriously?" That's how shallow I was, and so Kirk. I went to say hello to him and he brushed me, and then I went to say goodnight to John, and Kirk was standing there, and John's like, "Oh, Layne, Kirk, Layne," and I'm like, "Yeah, hi, we've met." He's like, "Yeah, hey." So John made us go to the bar and have a drink, and then I spent the next half an hour trying to get Kirk's number, all because I had promised John that I would take Kirk on a date. And so I took him on this date. I took him 10-pin bowling at DYRSL, because I'm a classy chick. And then I took him to a restaurant on the beachfront in DY.
Can I read the quote?
Yes.
This is the quote from Layne from the first date, verbatim. "We were yawning at each other's faces. There was no connection. We really didn't want to be there," Beachley said. "She went to the bathroom looking for a window to climb out of." Is that true?
It's true. And when there was no window to climb out of, I came back to the table and he was still sitting at it. And I was bitterly disappointed.
Hang on a minute, hang on.
Oh!
What are you saying? She wasn't really bitterly disappointed that you were still sitting there, was she?
No, well, I think she was disappointed that I was still there.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to find her way out of the bathroom, and I was going to leave some money on the table and just do a runner. But meanwhile, the manager of the restaurant, who Layne knows, sat down with me with a bottle of limoncello, full bottle of limoncello.
It was about that big.
And when Layne came back, the three of us polished it off, and that was the end of it.
The rest is history.
I got the hiccups and Kirk thought that was adorable.
Yep, pretty much.
And then at our wedding, we toasted with limoncello.
Oh.
And we still toast, every year.
Yes, with limoncello.
Our anniversary had limoncello.
Yeah.
Yum.
There's a beautiful photo of the two of you on a beach and it says "Marry me." Is that literally how the proposal happened?
Yeah, I think there it is there. Yeah, Layne, I think, had an inkling.
Yeah,
but
that's why I wore a white bikini.
Yeah, but we had two with flowers on it. Yeah, but we had two friends over there with us, and they helped me carve the heart. And I was actually, when I was putting the writing down, I went, "Marry me," with a question mark, and there were these people in a house watching us do it, and they said, "It's not a question, it's a statement." So I had to rub out the question mark and put an exclamation mark.
You both look so happy.
You'd expect that, wouldn't you?
Well, you would.
It's not like, "Oh no, he's asked me to marry him."
Well, when you talk about how it started, I'm just relieved you got to this point.
Yeah, me too. Are you?
Yeah.
I mean, as Layne said, I had no interest whatsoever in Layne that first night we met. Absolutely no interest.
See what I mean?
Why would I want to go out with a surfer when I hate the beach, hate the sun? I'm nocturnal, she's dayturnal.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And did you... you obviously knew who Layne was, but did you...
No.
Had no idea.
I was a 5 times world champion. He'd been living under a rock. Star.
Yeah, a night rock.
Was that nice for you though? Was that refreshing?
It's very refreshing. We both enjoy our anonymity, and so to to not have to feel like I have to talk about, well, the thing is that when we meet people that know of us and then want to tell us their favourite surfing story or their favourite in-excess story, we didn't feel the need to do that, but unfortunately that's what we did on our first date. So Kirk felt like he had to talk about surfing and told me about his first surfboard, and I'm like, really? I don't want to talk about the first in-excess show I ever went to because I lost the tickets and didn't go. Yeah, I didn't end up there. But to not have to talk about our vocations and just be able to talk to each other as regular human beings was really refreshing.
Fantastic anniversary date. They were married on the 10th of the 10th of the 10th at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Can't forget it, yep.
No. Well,
I got married on New Year's Eve for the same reason, so that he wouldn't forget it. But what was significant about that for you, other than cool date?
He set the date.
It's a numerological thing, you know.
Chinese numerology.
It was really hard actually finding a celebrant for that day because there were so many Asians in Sydney getting married on that day because it's significant. You know, it's meant to bring good luck and all that sort of
and
stuff.
happiness, eternal happiness.
Yeah, so far.
You've just had a fantastic few weeks in Cambodia and Vietnam with some friends who you've got with you. Is being able to do this now, travel the world and spend time together, very high on the list of priorities?
Well, it is for me because I'm not really doing much these days. So, can we go on holiday? Can we go on holiday?
No, I've got to work.
But yeah, actually, Glenn, somewhere here from Infinity, put together this most amazing itinerary for us in Vietnam and Cambodia, and we've both arrived here in Singapore about 3 kilos heavier, but had an absolute ball. It was just fantastic.
It's been extraordinary. And one of the things that we both decided to do when we retired, well, even though you're not really retired and I still surf every day, but one of the decisions that we made was that we wanted to see more of the places that we never got to go to when we were touring. So when Kirk and I got together, I think that we stayed together for so long was because he was off on tour, I was off on tour, so we only spent probably 4 or 5 months together within the first few years of our relationship.
It was awesome.
And so when we both came together and I stopped touring and you stopped touring, we decided, let's go and see parts of the world that we've never experienced. So one of the first holidays that we went on was the outback of Australia. We hired a 4-wheel drive and we drove from Broome to Darwin and spent 3 weeks just living like grey nomads.
In campgrounds and stuff, which was pretty interesting. Like Layne and I roll in with
What
our
do people
little
do,
our little
though?
pop-up camper and set up, and all these people walk by going,
I was going to say, what kind of a reaction did you get from campers where they put 2 and 2 together?
Yeah.
I mean, even if someone doesn't know Layne, they'd know you, or vice versa. I mean,
yeah. And if we heard one more time, what are you doing out here, Layne? There's no surf here.
Yeah.
If we heard that, any more times, I think we were about to just stab them.
Pay up, you owe me $1.
But like everything with life, to look at the two of you and to think about the success that you both have, which has been phenomenal in your own rights, still means that, like we were saying earlier, life still deals you up challenges. And last year was a really tough year for both of you.
Yeah.
For you in particular, Kirk.
Yeah. Around Christmas, where are we? 2015. Around Christmas 2014, I got diagnosed with prostate cancer. And then I had to wait quite a while to get sort of the results and how serious it was and all that sort of thing.
It was serious enough for your doctor to email you and tell you that you had prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Email you?
He emailed me, yes.
That was nice.
But so I've consequently found...
Is that the new way to do it?
I found another oncologist after that. So.
Holy moly. I can't imagine to get delivered that news in that way. But also that moment when something like that happens in anybody's life it really is a
slap in the face.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And also because, I got an email saying I had prostate cancer, but know how severe it was or whether it had spread or anything like that. So, and Layne was away that night. So there I was alone going, where's this going to go? What's going to happen? But anyway, as it turned out, thank heavens, I had to have the prostate removed, and the cancer was contained in the prostate, so it hadn't spread anywhere. So, in theory, I'm cancer-free now.
In theory. But from a partner's perspective, it was incredibly challenging because there were so many times where I felt completely helpless. I didn't know what to do or how to do it or what kind of support I could offer or who I could reach out to and talk to about how am I supposed to deal with this as well. So it took me about 7 or 8 days to even process the fact, and then I lost it, had a meltdown moment, and then continued to get on with it. So it's just really important that you actually feel the fear and then go, you know what, it's not all flowers and roses and champagne.
And
There's some challenging times that you have to get through.
It would appear you live a very full and fragrant life, but does it mean it's even fuller and more fragrant now?
I like that
do you-
term, full
do
and
you-
fragrant.
Do you actually now go, I embrace every day and every opportunity even more than I did before?
I think I already did.
Yeah, I think you did too.
You know, I've had an extraordinary life, ups and downs, of course, like anyone, but yeah.
It just doesn't get
look
the same applause every day. You know?
Yeah.
We'll
I
all
miss
cut-
that. I keep trying to get Layne to do it, but she
Yeah,
won't.
well, applaud you when you walk down the stairs.
Yeah, you know.
Now, of course,
When I
you're
make
sharing,
toast.
You're sharing all the milestones in life, those that you want to be celebrated. And obviously, it's a celebration that you're now cancer-free, which is fantastic. And I said to
Yes.
Kirk over lunch, it is Prostate Awareness Month this month. And it's like everything, the more conversations, the more open we are about this,
Absolutely.
the less it's not talked about. And men,
Yeah.
for all,
Men tend to hold
Yeah.
a
Internalise.
lot of things in. Yeah.
So it's the month to get checked. This next photo. This next photo,
Yay.
though, hooray! This next photo is you up on stage, which is obviously your equivalent to Layne being in the water. Do you still look at photos of you performing and just have a direct connection to the ability that you have to entertain in that way?
No. No, I actually, when I see photos or I hear, it's more I think if I hear the songs, that certainly gets my head thinking about, when we recorded the song or some part of my life where that song was involved, and seeing photos and that, seeing that photo of me, I almost feel like it's someone else. When I'm on stage, it's sort of like a different person up there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's weird, yeah.
We've all seen Wembley, right? We've all seen Live Baby Live, and to me, I can't imagine what it was like to be able to walk out onto a stage where you've got 85,000 fans just jumping up and down and screaming your name and throwing themselves at you. It must have been pretty awesome.
Well, they were throwing themselves at Michael, not me.
But whatever the leftovers were, they'd come to
Yeah. Or Michael's leftovers.
The accolades continue. This next one, Layne, is you receiving your Order of Australia medal last year.
Well, no, that's not at the Order of Australia medal, but we'll just say that it is. That's
Okay,
when Kirk,
inducted into the Hall of Fame?
yeah, that's when Kirk and I went matchy-matchy to
You are very matchy-matchy.
Sport Australia Hall of Fame Awards.
Yeah.
So yes, I've been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and last year was definitely one of the proudest moments. Also for my dad, who cried, of course, when I was awarded an Officer of the Order of Australia. I go into these. I chose the profession of surfing to achieve a dream, and unfortunately, a lot of people are either driven through a fear of failure or driven through a love of success, or I was actually at times driven through a fear of success, and ultimately when you have these fears, they create these self-imposed limitations. And so when I'm awarded on stage or I'm receiving a Laureus Award or any kind of award, I reflect back on these times when I used to limit myself and question myself and doubt myself, and I think, wow, I would not have been standing here had I just stopped myself in my tracks, all because of fear.
Yeah.
And so I become very grateful for them. I'm so grateful for the recognition, the respect and the accolades I receive, but I don't do it for that. I'm intrinsically motivated. I'm motivated to succeed because of the impact or the meaningfulness or the difference it's going to make. But then to be recognised for it was incredibly special. So yes, I have one of those little gold pins with a little blue little dot in it, and it's something that I have a lot of pride over.
One thing I've read you say is that one medal you won't probably be able to put in that vast cabinet is an Olympic one.
That's
there is
true.
talk that they might add some new sports into the Olympics for 2020 and surfing.
2020. Yes, so Tokyo have announced, they're going to announce 5 new sports.
And surfing is one of them.
And surfing's one of them. And so that's why I've taken on the chairperson's role at Surfing Australia, because as part of my legacy, I want to see 2 Australians win the first 2 gold medals in surfing in Tokyo.
Fantastic.
There's a possibility it won't be Stephanie Gilmore, but we'll see what happens.
Kirk, we've heard that you obviously you don't surf with Layne when she just goes out but you're still very comfortable on a stage, clearly.
Anyone want to
Mostly.
hear him play?
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing, you were there, two worlds colliding. They will never tear us apart. We could live for 1,000 years. If I touch you, I'll make wine from your tears. I told you that we could fly, 'cause we all have wings, but some of us don't know why. I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart. I was standing, you were there, two worlds collided, and they could never, ever, ever tear us apart. You were standing, I was there, and they could never, ever tear us apart. Thank you.
What a treat!
Okay, that's enough.
It's funny because you both say you're chalk and cheese, but while I'm sitting here, talking to Layne and about her life and what she's achieved, and then listening to you and knowing everything that you've been able to achieve within Excess, the one thing that you clearly share is that you're exceptional human beings who've had incredible lives, and we're so lucky to have been able to share a small part of it. And thank you for sharing your lives with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. You may have succeeded in different ways, but massive amounts of success. I just love that you said he doesn't do this very often. You don't get to see him perform.
Not at
so
all.
It's really been very special for all of us to share this.
Yes.